Hey, welcome. We're about to dive into something that honestly is a fundamental truth. If you want to create things that people actually want and will use, you've got to get past what you think they need. You have to start really, truly understanding them. It's this huge shift from just assuming to having real empathy. And believe me, it changes absolutely everything. So here's a question that probably keeps a lot of innovators and creators up at night. You've got this brilliant idea, right? You pour your heart, your soul, all your time into it, but then when you finally release it into the wild, it just kind of fizzles. It doesn't connect. Why on earth does this happen so often? And boom, there it is. That's the critical mistake right there. See, we think we know what people need. We make these really well-intentioned assumptions about their problems and what would solve them. But here's the thing. An assumption is just a guess, no matter how smart it is. The real magic, the real innovation, only starts when we stop guessing and start truly understanding. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we make that huge leap from just assuming things to having genuine empathy? Well, it all starts with three core ways of thinking, of approaching the problem. This is basically the foundational mindset you need for any kind of human-centered research. So these are the three pillars: immerse, observe, and engage. You can think of them as three totally different lenses you can use to see the world through someone else's eyes. And each one gives you a really unique and incredibly valuable perspective. Immerse is literally about walking a mile in their shoes. You go out and you personally experience the problem you're trying to solve. Then you have observe, which is where you become kind of like a fly on the wall. You just watch how people behave in their natural environment without you getting in the way. And finally, there's engage, and that's all about connecting directly with people, having conversations, doing interviews, and just hearing their stories firsthand. All right, let's zoom in on that third pillar, engage, because a simple conversation can be one of the most powerful research tools in your entire arsenal. But, and this is a big but, only if you know how to have conversations that dig up the real truth, not just, surface level opinions. What's so interesting about this is that a great research interview feels way less like an interrogation and a lot more like just a good chat. Your goal isn't to just extract information from someone. It's to create this safe, comfortable space where they feel like they can actually share their real experiences. And that all starts with building trust from the very first hello. This right here, this simple little phrase is your secret weapon. Seriously. See, if you ask someone about the future, you're just inviting them to guess and speculate. But if you ask for a story about the past, you're asking for a reality. This prompt immediately shifts the entire conversation from abstract ideas to concrete lived experiences. And that right there is where all the golden insights are hiding. So think of this as your personal toolkit for becoming a phenomenal listener. First, you've got to explore their emotions. Don't be afraid to ask why or how did that make you feel. Next, and this is tough, you have to fight that urge to suggest answers or finish their sentences for them. I know this is a big one. Learn to love the silence. Just embrace it. Give people that extra beat to think. And finally, keep an eye out for any little inconsistencies between what someone says and what they do, because that little gap is often where the real truth lives. Okay, so we've got the mindset down and we've got the skills to have a great conversation. But how do we take all these insights and make them more, concrete? Something we can actually work with. Let's look at a couple of really powerful tools that help you do just that. I love this technique. It is so brilliant. Instead of just talking, you actually hand over the pen and paper and ask someone to draw their experience, like the steps they took and what the emotional highs and lows were. This simple act of making it visual unlocks memories and feelings that you just might not get to in a normal conversation. It literally creates a map that you can explore together. And here's another super simple but really powerful framework, this time for when you're observing people. You start with the what column. Just write down the objective facts. What is the person doing? That's it. Then you move to the how column and you note the way they're doing it. Are they rushed? Do they look frustrated, happy? And then finally, you use all that data to take an educated guess in the why column. This little process is what takes you from just seeing stuff to actually analyzing it. Now we've arrived at what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this entire conversation. We absolutely cannot talk about understanding other human beings without talking about ethics. And this isn't just some checklist you tick off at the end. This is the heart and soul of the work itself. The difference here could not be more clear. In extractive mindset, well, it sees people as data points. They're just sources of information to be mined. But a respectful mindset, that sees people as partners. It's about honoring them,
their stories, their vulnerability, and their time. It's about making sure that the interaction is genuinely good for them, not just good for you. And this is where it gets super practical. It means you've got to reflect on your own biases before you even start. It means being totally upfront, making sure people genuinely want to talk to you, and that they know exactly how their stories might be used. It also means valuing their time and experience, often with compensation, because their expertise is valuable. But above all, it's about a deep commitment to do no harm and to be incredibly mindful of sensitive topics. At the end of the day, respect isn't a nice to have. It's the absolute price of admission if you want any real insight. And that's really what it all boils down to. This is the core takeaway. True, meaningful, lasting innovation doesn't come from a genius idea dreamed up in a quiet room. It comes from real human connection. It comes from a deep, empathetic, and respectful understanding of other people. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. In your own work, in your life, whose perspective are you missing? What crucial story is out there just waiting to be heard if only you decided to take the time to really, truly listen?